Sibley back on the ice right now. Edina has come on the ice. The Hornets have had their last 15 minutes of discussion about tonight's hockey game unless we have an overtime. And they know what they have to do. There's no question about it. They've got to keep on playing like they've been playing. We'll be back with the third period of this evening's first round hockey, or first of two hockey games. But the score here, Sibley 2, Edina East nothing. Say, well, Frank Butel, come on back in here with a 2-0 hockey game, and I would have to agree with earlier statements, one of the best we've seen in a long time. Here's Frank again.
Okay, 15 more minutes. 2-0. Sibley. And we get underway, and Edina immediately goes to the attack across the line, trying to work in. And here is the penalty coming up immediately on a tripping penalty. And now Edina Hornets, I would say right here, this is the decisive period of this hockey game. No question about it.
He didn't want to do it, but it was more of an accident than anything else. Probably the Albers. That's right, Albers goes off for the third time on a trip at 07. And if Sibley can last this one out, as Frank said, it could be a long uphill fight for Edina. It will be anyway. So,
all right, Edina on the power play with 17 seconds. Or no, with 7 seconds at time of the penalty. Puck in the corner, cleared, but not out. It hit somebody in the back. Edina in control along the near boards, out to the point, kept in by Paulfoot. Over it goes. There's a shot. Lances up high over the top of the net. A centering pass to Norwich. He shoots. Rutherford went down, smothered that one. Gets up again. A centering pass in the slot. They shoot it wide. Edina really trying desperately now to get on the map here, so to speak. They're trailed 2-0 into the slot. They drop it out to the point again. Norwich wheels it over. Paulfoot with a shot. He shoots it high. It went off the glass. I don't think the goaltender saw that one, Rutherford. It goes back into the corner again. Up they come. They try to work it in. In front, they tip it. Oh, and they miss. On a great opportunity by Bill Thayer. Out it comes to center ice. Tipped aside, and it's cleared. But not very far down the ice. And Norwich will start it back. 42 seconds left on the penalty time. Paulfoot hits the line. Paulfoot goes in, shoots. And Rutherford calmly steers that aside. Couple of players down in the corner. Paulfoot's after it, trying to dig it out. He's being disputed for with a puck by Novak. And Novak drives it down the ice. I got to say this about Novak. He is probably the unsung player. Puck in the corner. One of the Sibley players down the forecheck, tying it out. Doing a good job, wasting precious seconds. That's Bumgarner. Here's Norwich. They got time for one more rush. Is about all on the power play. There they come to the line with Bill Thayer. A drop. Back to Paulfoot. Paulfoot drops it in the slot. Deflected. Out goes Anderson. He shot it high. He had a good shooting opportunity, but shot that one high. Out it comes to the point. They're back at full strength. Paulfoot drives it into the far corner. Picked up there by Sibley. They wheel in behind, and that was Stevens. Stevens in the far corner, losing it to Jim Anderson. Out to the point, it comes to Norris. Norris drives it in, right along the end line into the slot. Oh, and Anderson couldn't hold it. Good pass, but he couldn't hold it. Paulfoot's with it, still out there. They got their power play unit on. Now Paulfoot is going off. It's broken up at center ice. Sibley coming to the line, across the line, trying to work their way in. Puck goes into the far corner and broken up there. Fight is on for the puck. It's center right into the slot. Open net. Beautiful play. And they swarm all over. Boy, I don't know who did that. It may have been Spoden.
It was Spoden, all right. Spoden was the guy that drove it home, and is he ever a cool customer? He had his dead to the right down in front of that net. He just held the puck until Hughes made a move and then put it in very calmly. And you know something? Sibley had another man to his right. He could have passed it off. 2-0. So it is 3-0 hockey game.
From Albers. Sibley leading at Edina East. This is necessarily a shocker to a lot of people, but a score might be. A 3-0 difference in the game. Spoden getting the goal. Albers, he deked the goal. He pulled him right out of the net and just tucked it into the wide open, yawning net. It was wide open. Into the Sibley zone, and wheeling back with the puck. Now comes Edina with it. Edina is driving it in with Frawley. Shooting it in. It comes along the near boards. Comes off at a funny angle, and there was a man in front breaking it up. That's Albers again. Tipped back into the far corner. Edina with it, trying to get it centered out, and they're knocked off the puck. It's tipped along the boards to the near side, and here comes Sibley out the far side into the center ice area. Tipped ahead and broken up there. With it now is Finks. He shoots it right back in. Stopped by Rutherford behind the net. 11:55 left to go. 3-0 Sibley. Massive crowd here. Absolutely every seat taken. Oh, right in front of it. Cleared out of there. Following down the ice, here's the icing. Action has stopped on the ice with the score. Sibley 3, Edina East 0. Faceoff will be in the Sibley zone to the left of goaltender Rutherford. 3-0, 11:45 left to go to the game. Sibley leading. Second game coming up will be Grand Rapids against Bemidji. Puck is dropped into the center ice area. Racing after it is Frawley. Frawley tipping it over to the far side. Rink White pass. Paulfuss with it. Goes to the outside. He shoots. And he got a glove on that one, Rutherford did. It stopped everything as far as the side of the net. They tried to ram it home, and that one was broken down. Here comes Sibley out of their own zone, and here's the penalty. A tripping penalty on number 19 for Edina Finks.
3:37 is the penalty time. And 19 is Dave Finks. So this is their fourth penalty of the hockey game and the fourth opportunity for a power play. I'm of the opinion that if it's 3-0 when there's a minute left, I'll say Edina might not be able to get back. I think they've got firepower enough for it.
They shoot it in. Rutherford stops it behind the net. Sibley leading 3-0. And they're on the power play. They come out of their own zone into center ice. They shoot it ahead toward the line. It's broken up there, and they're trapped offside.
The lowest anybody's held Edina in scoring all year long. Bloomington Kennedy lost in the Region 1 finals 2-1 to Edina. Those two goals, the fewest allowed. Lincoln also allowed Edina just 3.
Saltscheider ahead to Spoden. Spoden at the line, gets checked, drops it out to the point. Saltscheider back to Spoden along the near board. Spoden trying to control the puck. Spoden off the board. Spoden whips it across to the far point. They line up a shot. They can't shoot. Drive it back into the corner. Tie up there. Frawley is being tied up. We'll have a face-off to the left of Hughes. The Edina goaltender. 10 minutes, 42 seconds left. 3-0, Sibley, semifinals, Minnesota State High School Hockey Tournament. Drop puck, in control. With it, Sibley, a pass-out attempt was broken up. They try to bring it out. Albers there, ties up Frawley behind the net.
One thing I like about the way Sibley plays hockey is when Albers goes into rush. This time it was Baumgartner. The last time it was Spoden who went out and took that point position without even thinking about it or hesitating. Cover for the man, cover for the man.
Hornets with the puck in the corner, wheeling around with it. To the far side is Charlie Peterson. Comes rushing out of his own zone to center ice, pokes it ahead, breaks into the attack zone, and then got picked up there by Baumgartner. They fall, and he's on top of the puck, and almost, Charlie Peterson almost was able to turn the corner there. Good individual effort. 10:18 to go, 25 seconds left till the penalty time to Dave Finks. Edina playing shorthanded and trailing 3-0. Fairly with it to the opposite point. They fire toward the net. It's cleared to the side. Almost intercepted by Jim Anderson. Now they come to the line. With it is Albers. Albers across the line. Drops it out toward the point. It's picked up there by Baumgartner. Into the slot area. They bang at it. Looking out low to the far side. Wheeling is Novak. Novak behind the net. Looks for somebody. And got knocked off the puck by Norris. Norris tips it out. Tipped into the center ice area. Here's Anderson coming one-on-one. Anderson with a pass to Finks. He just came in. He shoots. Oh! Another save. penalty box.
Is he ever a goaltender? Holy smokes. Like he was picking up 3 jacks in a game of jacks or something.
Just about took that right off of Dave Finks' stick. Well, 9:47 to go. Out to the point it comes. Here's a drive, and that's deflected as Norwich fired it. Cleared to the side, and Sibley comes out of their own zone into the center ice area, hitting the Edina line, across the line. Shot right on, steered aside by Hughes. He drops it into the corner. Picking up the puck is Nichols. Nichols out from behind the net, moves it up to Norwich. Norwich races down the left side. Norwich comes to the line, spikes off a check, cuts into the slot, throws it ahead. Right in, they score! They score! All right, they're on the board. Edina gets on the board with a good play set up by Norwich.
And there's still plenty of time in this hockey game. Over 9 minutes, nearly 9.5 minutes to go.
5:39. We'll see who got that goal. Norwich did the individual work, bringing the puck down the ice.
Some of the Sibley players thought it did not go in. It just had landed in the crease, but it looked like it hit up in the underneath side of the pipe.
Havoc got the goal.
His 4th of the tournament.
All right, they shoot it right on again. 3-1, Sibley leading. 9:14 left. Edina going after the puck. The puck in the corner. Our coach said this is his greatest third-grade team. Right into the slot area, and that's broken up. And they almost had a man open there. Bill Thayer in front. Here they steal it again. They go right in. Right to the goal, and a goalie poked it off Thayer's stick. Thayer was trying to deke him. Here they are again, and it's knocked loose. Oh, Thayer was right in front of the goaltender. Rutherford knocked it right off his stick. Edina coming back in this game. They've not given up. They're determined. Trying to get the equalizer. Norwich knocks down Spoden at center ice. Spoden on his knees drives it in. Norwich going back for it. Norwich might have to play the rest of the way here. He's passing it out to the left side. Tapped ahead into the center ice area. Sibley has control. It's deflected down the ice. Comes it down as Gary Johnson goes into the corner. Lost the stick, kicks at it. Stick is cleared around the boards to the far side. There's the penalty coming up. Puck is touched. He picked up a stick and threw it. All right, that is the right call on Sibley's Weber. He picked up a stick and threw it. And that was a move there.
Number 12, Weber.
Illegally throwing stick. Opponent's stick.
Well, that's certainly a very unusual penalty, and I'm sure all he wanted to do was clear the stick out of the way of the play.
Yeah, you can't blame a player something like that. You get in the heat of the game and you don't really know. All right, now Edina on the power play. There's still 8:17 left to go in the game. Sibley leading it by a score of 3-1.
They get one here, and it's a whole new hockey game.
Yeah. Out to the point, whipped across to Norwich. Norwich goes in. He goes, oh, what a save. Norwich firing as good as anybody. High school hockey can do it. They throw it to post, puts it broken up. Prettyman sends it around the boards to the far side. Baumgartner losing control of it, trying to tie up his man in. Is Prettyman in the corner. Prettyman controlling the puck. Fights off the check, bounces it off the boards. It's not out. They tip it back in again. The fight is on. Baumgartner along the boards, fighting for the puck. It's knocked down. Prettyman is there. He battles for it. Loose puck goes into the corner. Prettyman digging after for it. Beat to the puck by the Hornets. Anderson in the corner. Jim Anderson wheeling out. Drops it back into the corner. Out to the point it comes. Finks with a blast. He scores!
7:26, the time of the goal. I don't think it was tipped in, but we'll wait. 3-2 is the hockey score. And
Might have been tipped in.
Boy, does that make Spoden's goal a big one right now. And there may be no holding Edina back now. They may really be flying. Peterson from Finks. And that's the way it'll go. Apparently it was a tip in then.
7:34 left to go. The puck shot down into the Edina zone. After it goes Sibley, the puck in the corner. It's centered out. Tipped but not out. Fired back in by Spoden. Into the near corner. Of course, now Sibley back at full strength to scramble for the puck. They keep it in. Whether it's Spoden, it comes out the boards, but he lost it. Picked up now by Jerry Johnson. Tips it out. Out it comes to Thayer. Thayer comes to center right. The right wing pass. They come across the line. Right into the slot area to shoot. Rutherford with a save. The loose puck. It's knocked in behind the net. And it's picked up now by Sibley. They cap it ahead. They bring it to their own line. They throw it to center right. Spoden with it. Shoots from long range. Oh! That almost eluded Hughes. He made it save. Right in front. A loose puck. Cleared. And not out. In front again. And now it's taken into the corner by Norwich, who lost his stick. Spoden with it. Drops it into the slot. Green hauled down. And here's the penalty on Edina.
So, turnabout is fair play. 8:25.
That was a good call by the officials. The players were grabbing.
Larry Johnson goes off. Hooking is the official call. Another minute and a half here. So this has been just a superb battle. 3-2, Sibley by a goal. Edina making an excellent comeback here. Playing the kind of hockey that we know they can play. And I'm sure Sibley knows they can play.
Puck comes into the center ice area. Albert's back with it. Of course, Sibley can't afford to take too many chances either on a power play. They don't want to get scored upon right here, I'll tell you that. Off the boards, they drive it in. They're keeping their point men back pretty far. They're not going in. Off the boards, they come with a puck. This is Novak. Drops it to Albert. Back to Novak along the right board. Lines up a shot. Didn't shoot. They try to work in. They drop it into the slot. It's broken up. Albert gets it. Clears it off the boards. Intercepted there. Out comes Edina with it. Into the center ice area. Peterson. They drive it down the ice. Backboard goes Sibley. Sibley after the puck in her own zone. Checking there. In behind the net. Puck is dropped ahead. And where is it? Now it's in the center ice area. We lose sight of it a little bit from our vantage point when it comes along this right board. And fighting off a check is Novak. Novak across the line. Shoots just wide. Spoden. He shoots. That's high. Rides the board. Out to Albert. He shoots. That's blocked. Pokes at it. Comes along the near board. Gets back. Tries to get it back. Oh, a check put on Anderson there by number 16 for Sibley. Baumgartner. What a check that was. There's the battle with the puck along the line. 16 seconds left on the penalty clock. Breaking in for Sibley. One to the left. Stop pass. It's in behind the net. Into the slot. Spoden couldn't reach it. They chip it but not out. Again, they race after the puck. 4 seconds left on the penalty clock. It's kept in. A shot is blocked. Time, 5 minutes and 4 seconds left. Edina at full strength. Break, and it's broken up at the line. Sibley coming back. Spoden across the line. Shoot! Oh, that's wide. As Hughes went down to block that one. Here is Edina coming back. A pass up the middle. Clear, shooting. That's blocked. It goes to the goalie, and he scoops it up. Rutherford, they didn't want a rebound. Action has stopped on the ice. What the score? Sibley 3, Edina East 2.
If you live in Edina and are...
Long range shot on the Edina net, stopped by Hughes. Edina coming back with Norwich. Pass on the far side, and here's the 3-on-3 breakout. They hit the line, going into the corner, dropped in front, and ricochet back in the corner. The play broken up. Edina on the intercept, working her way in. A shot, saved by Rutherford. Score!
10:45, the time of the goal. And what a sensational play. Norwich may not have gotten the goal, but he did most of the work on it. Rutherford did an excellent job of knocking that one down. Who would have believed? When you're leading 3-0 with 5 minutes gone in the third period, you should be able to hang on. And all the momentum has to be with Edina as we have a brand new hockey game. Mayer gets the goal. Norwich
the other. Player got the goal. Edina now tied. 3-3. They come to center right. They shoot it in. They're an awesome offensive team. Nothing to Sibley to be ashamed of it. It's anybody's game right now. I'll tell you that right now. Puck along the far board. Here's Sibley racing out. It's tapped to the far side. Tipped but not out. Along the boards and scramble after that puck. And it's down in the Sibley zone in the corner. Tipped back along the boards at the point. Crawley with a drive. It's wide to the right. Deep rebound. They try to poke it out to Spoden, who's loitering in the center ice area. Tipped back into the far corner. After it is Weber. Weber behind the net. Up to the right wing. A shot from long range. They score! They score from the point! Edina leads 4-3. They have scored 4 goals here. 5:39. See how much time is elapsed, Bill? 43 seconds from their tie goal to get the go-ahead goal. 11:28 the time of the goal. Rutherford never saw it. He was looking back behind the net. He thought he deflected. He was completely screened. Crawley with the unassisted goal puts Edina ahead. They have scored 4 goals in 5 minutes and 59 seconds if my arithmetic is right. Edina leads Sibley with an amazing turnabout here. Here's a shot from the blue line. That's blocked. Sibley at the line. Scramble with the puck. They go after it. Tipped out into the center ice area. Holford shooting from long range. That's deflected off Stevens. It goes into the corner. After this Prettyman. Beside the net. In front. He should score again. Edina scoring again. Number 14 getting the goal. Peterson.
Boy, when it bounces right for you, it bounces right for you, too. Well, I said at the beginning of the period that 5 goals in one period was not impossible for him to get. I didn't know when I was going to be a prophet, but Holford gets an assist.
Peterson getting the goal. Charlie Peterson.
Anderson also gets the goal.
Shooting it in again with 3:05 left to go. Edina leads it 5-3, and there's an icing call. Wow. What can you say?
I think we have some stunned people here. Some very stunned people in the audience. 4 minutes and 49 seconds to get 4 goals and take the lead. And Norwich is going around slapping everybody with a stick saying, all right, guys, here we go.
Scramble with the puck. It's in the corner. Battling after this Novak. Novak tips it behind the net. Novak drops it in front. Oh, here's the shot into the crease area. They just missed. Baumgartner tried to feed Novak back, and that was a close call. That would have put Sibley right back in the game. Edina coming to center ice. Now they just shoot it in. What they want to do now is forecheck. Try to keep the puck down to the opposite guy's end. 2:40 to go. Sibley, which has played so magnificently through most of this game, still have not giving up. They're coming back again. It's not from long range. It's a little bit wide to the right. Long rebound comes out. Picked up by Larry Johnson. He taps it to center ice and driven down the ice. Edina is bringing on fresh players as Willard Eichela. There's a tap on a loose puck into the slot. Working in a shot wide. They bang at it. Loose. Goes in behind the net. They tip it in the far corner. Out it comes. Stopped at the line. Coming back is Norwich. He got checked from behind. And that time Novak knocked one of the Edina players down. Here comes Crawley back. Crawley got the big goal. The shot from the point. Which may be the game winner. 1:55 left. 5-3 Edina. It's a fantastic turnabout of events. They check in front of the net. Out they come. It could be the 3 lines they have. Play at center ice. They fire it into the Edina zone. Hughes makes the stop. In behind the net. Edina with it, in control. Reverse directions. They pass it to the right wing. Here they come 3 down. On to break. They shovel it ahead. Working his way toward the goal. And Rutherford made a save. And a kid is still in there. A beautiful save on number 13, Steve Nichols. 1:30 left. What a hockey game.
Unofficially, Edina's put 17 shots on Rutherford in this period.
Oh.
How long can you keep a team that can have that kind of firepower? How long do you keep them shut out? The answer is not too long, as we found out here.
I don't know, but any Sibley Rooter's got to be proud of their team. Here's a shot wide by Charlie Peterson out to the point. And, of course, the Edina Rooters, they got to feel proud. There comes Foden. Foden checked, tried a backhander, got knocked off the puck by two players. Edina with the puck in their own territory. Jim Anderson with it. He lost it on a check as he gave Cole put the pass into center ice. And here comes the Sibley back. They hit the line. Here's the drive. That's a little bit wide. And it bounced off the board. That shot was really pumped up there hard by Albers. He can shoot. Here's the steal. Albers with the puck. Albers on the backhand into the slot area. Albers after it again. Behind the net. Circle. Drops it. And it's broken up there. With it is Foden behind the net. They haven't given up. They bang at it. And Hughes has got it. Well, there's 43 seconds left. They got a sign here on the board. Minnesota high school hockey greatest anywhere. Gotta be.
Absolutely.
Well, you gotta feel sorry for the Sibley bunch. They're not going to pull a goalie.
For 2.5 periods, two periods and 5 minutes of a third, they were the best team on the ice, but the scoreboard will indicate at the end who wins.
Oh, the assistant coach over there gives him a hug. That's Lynn Bowman. Bob Boyson goes over and says, oh, can't stop a machine gun. Sooner or later, the armor's got to give in. Waiting for the face-off. They're jockeying for position. The scramble after that puck. They pull their goaltender. Here's a shot. That's blocked. Net is open. Here comes Edina down the ice. A shot. And they miss. It goes in behind the net. They circle the net. A check made there. Loose puck. Right in front. Clear to the side. No goalie. Edina putting pressure on. A check made against the boards on the far side. A drop into the slot. Cleared in behind the net. And it's cleared out to the side. They had one of the defensemen go in and play and a goal. Here he comes out, now steers around the boards to the far side. Brower fans out, it goes back into the corner. 10 seconds left. Shot to center ice. One more drive by Sibley. They come to the line. A shot, gloved by Hughes. 4 seconds free. Drops it. Picked up by Brower. Edina wins. Boy, a fantastic performance. Both teams. Sibley gave it their best shot. A couple of players shaking hands. Foden shaking hands with Willard Eichler. Players are going to shake hands. What a game. Edina goes to the finals, 5-3. And they knew they played somebody tonight, I'll tell you that. Well, that's the end of the game. The final score, Edina East 5, Sibley 3, and Bill will be back with a recap of this game in just 60 seconds.
What a hockey game, huh? Final score. 5-3, Edina East coming back to win. I don't really believe it, but I knew it would be certainly within the realm of possibility. But the way Sibley was playing there for so much of that hockey game, I didn't think that they could possibly let down as much as they did. Well, they didn't really let down. Edina just finally got some breaks, and the puck finally bounced right for him. And losing Sibley was tremendous. Played a very strong hockey game, as strong, I think, against Edina as anybody will play. Scoring in the first period at 5:06, Baumgartner Sibley from Novak and Spoden. It was a power play goal, 1-0 Sibley. And at 11:16, Baumgartner from Novak and Saul Schneider, 2-0 Sibley. That was the end of the first period score. There was no scoring in the second period. In the third period at 2:13, Spoden beat Hughes. He had him all alone out front of the net. Deked him rather and popped it in. Made it 3-0. Then the momentous comeback, one they may write reams about in the papers tomorrow morning. Havoc at 5:39 from Norwich, 3-1. 7:26, Peterson from Finks, 3-2. 10:45, Thayer tied it from Norwich and Polpas, 3-3. 11:28. Crawley, unassisted, intercepted a pass to the left point and fired it home, and it looked from here like Rutherford never saw it. And icing on the cake at 11:48, Peterson from Polfus and Anderson. Saves in the hockey game. Hughes of Edina had 17 saves in a hockey game. Rutherford for Sibley had 34 saves. Shots on goal, in other words, 39 for Edina and 20 for Sibley. And the final score again, Edina East 5, Sibley 3. That's right, if you're just tuning our way, they came up with 5 goals in the final 10 minutes. Sensational comeback to win the hockey game. Frank and I will be along with our between period show here, or between game show, let me say that, in just a few seconds. Final score again, Edina East 5, Sibley 3.
Well, that winds up our between game show here. We got another game coming up. And as Bill Allard already expressed it so very capably, they'll be talking about this one for a long time to come. Are two things that should be pointed out. One, Sibley does not have to hang its head in shame. And Edina has got to hold their head very high because they have shown that you never give up. Ever. Down 3-0. They came back with one of the most amazing comebacks probably ever in this history of the 30th year of the high school hockey tournament.
Frank, I can only add one thing to that. A fellow who may have missed the game because he was working or somehow otherwise occupied tunes in and hears Edina beat Sibley 5-3. Says, gee whiz, Sibley gave him a good game, huh? What a game. And it was Edina East that gave Sibley the good game for a good portion of it.
Right. Well, we'll be along with the second game of the semifinals, Bemidji versus Grand Rapids, in just a moment.